is what it is.
There we go. Broadcast.
Here we go. We are live here. I'm going to
grab your link sharing devices.
All right. There we go.
I have my cellular communication device.
Cellular telephone.
Who's posting on the bit? No, that comes out. No.
Mine
Fuck me.
comes out automatically. I'm doing the thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. This is again showing everyone how the sausage is made. Because
Yeah.
we don't do this pre-production at all. We just fucking...
We talk about it pre-production.
Well,
We're really good.
It until it's ready.
just balls deep dry.
Tammy Duckworth is still there.
Hello, Tammy. Tammy is a badass.
She's very much a badass.
My mom's name is Tammy, so watch it.
Guys, you heard what I said. And I ain't taking it back.
I have an aunt named Tammy. I like Tammy.
Who's Tammy?
Tammy Duckworth.
Tammy Duckworth.
Yeah, like that. Like you just keep saying her name. Like that should mean something.
She's Tammy
American
Duckworth.
privilege.
Yeah, and you should know.
Okay, I don't.
Tammy T.A.
She's a senator, right?
She's the junior senator of Illinois.
But she
that one.
she lost both of her legs
In the war.
in combat. And she also one of the like only senators to ever she was pregnant and she delivered her baby while being a senator, and it was the first time a baby was allowed on the Senate floor. Which she actually, it was like unanimous vote. Like they had to bend the rules a little bit, so it was a unanimous vote because they care about the little babies.
The
Little babies, but I guess she was wearing correct clothing, where you have to wear like a nice button down sweater. So.
Oh, okay.
I hope you weren't wearing a tan suit. Ooh.
Oh no!
Have that. What do you hate this country? Oh yeah.
No, that is against the law.
Speaking of new babies, anybody found any random new babies like laying on the doorstep in a little bassinet?
Just any new babies we have?
Oh, I found one.
Right next to his wife.
I was on my way to the pub.
Guess what happened?
Monday, myself and my good lady Kerry were blessed to be in receipt of a beautiful, beautiful baby girl, little Florence Alexandra, and she's upstairs now, probably kicking off. And as long as she's up there and not interfering with the podcast, it's all right. But no, she's beautiful.
I'm glad you have your priorities straight, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful, but as long as she doesn't bother the podcast, we're fine.
Right, drops up. No, she's mum and baby are doing well. Big sister is doing. Fortunately, she's over the moon and well in love. I am an emotional wreck because I'm like, I just look at her and I just want to burst into tears. It's just how lucky we are. Second time round, and the fact that she looks exactly like her big sister did when she was born is unbelievable.
Oh, that's not good. They're gonna start changing spots. Watch, they're gonna start. Their heights are gonna level out by the time they're like 10, they're like 12 and 17. Who knows?
Seeing her dad's
Don't lose track of
I'll
them.
pretend to be you. And
Don't lose track of them, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna start wearing the same color shirt. Like, wait, did you just go downstairs? All right.
No, in my luck, it's going to be they're going to turn into the twins from The Shining.
Just be holding hands at the end of a weirdly lit hallway.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Nobody kicked you, but you turned your video off.
We would never do anything like that.
I know I had to do some adjustments over here with
my
El Bambino.
I'll be doing the podcast one day, and all of a sudden my screen will fade to black, and it'll be them two holding hands.
A tricycle goes.
No. You have just a flash of them, like just a flash.
Daddy had
like some Fight Club kind of like, ooh.
Daddy's been very.
Oh, Mike, you just got to strike, Mike. That's a Rush Hour reference for when Chris Tucker got kicked in the restaurant.
I'm aware.
I thought you meant that I meant who kicked me from the video. I was gonna say that was a reference to Wayne having double trouble over there.
Yeah.
I'm knackered, mate. As one of my friends pointed out to me today, I am literally a minority in my own house because this is a 75% female household.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lost my rights to an opinion years ago.
Welcome to the
club. But no, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Congratulations. We'll send you a cigar.
I'm not
So, hello, Internet. Welcome to the Ben Podcast. My name is Shortham. I'm here with Mikey and Brenna and Wayne and some dude just fell into the room. What's your name, man? All right. And of course, we got Cortez. Welcome to the Ben Podcast. We're glad to have you back. We have a lot of things to do. Our master of disaster tonight, as always, is Mikey. He's going to do trying to hold the reins on this shit show. But first of all, Brenna.
What?
Do we have any new Patreons?
We do. Yay. We have Katarina is our newest Patreon supporter. Katarina. Very. I love it. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/thebinpodcast and you can join us for one of our lovely tiers of $1, $5, $10 and beyond. Eventually I hope we can do the beyond so that we can get together in face to face. We'll probably all be going to England. I think that's where we're gonna end up, just because it's GMT time and it's better that way.
And we invented it.
No, just for that, we're all going to Ireland.
It's the same time.
No, I just want to be in the EU.
Yes.
Viper still got its sting. Viper still got its sting, baby.
He's already dead.
All right.
I've been rewatching Breaking Bad, so I have like 15 Breaking Bad references just blasting my head, and I realized that no one else is watching that again.
Science, bitches.
Yeah. All right, Mr. White.
What are we drinking tonight? Let's start with our little boy Wayne.
I'm on a winemaker's release, Cabernet Sauvignon Shiraz, as per.
Oh, very nice.
I was about to say Similac.
Diesel.
Mikey, what you got in your cup there?
I have energy drink and alcohol. I'm not telling which one until they sponsor me, damn it.
Toro Rosso.
And what you drinking?
I am drinking some sparkling water, berry flavored.
Which berry?
It's just berry. You're just jealous.
I like it when they do like sodas, like when they do fizzy drinks, and they don't even specify what kind of fruit it is.
Berry.
They just like, it's berries. Like, it's some kind of berry that we just
a
found.
berry.
It's a lot of berries that we just found and put a piss load of sugar on.
Hey, berry.
There's no sugar in this.
Oh, sorry.
It's water.
Is that like LaCroix?
LaCroix? Yes.
Look, I've already gone over this with you.
It's. I think my favorite like thread on Twitter was like them dissing LaCroix and like describing what LaCroix tastes like. They're like, if somebody ate a fruit salad and then burped into a glass of water, that's what LaCroix tastes like. Like that's how much. Like if they drop 3 cherries into like a swimming pool full of water, that's the flavor of LaCroix.
To me, it tastes like Dale Disso. In a, it's just.
When
disgusting.
did you taste that?
I have children, and they do weird things. Okay.
That's supposed to be you.
But he already knew the response. The response is,
Yeah.
I have children.
Because it's worse has happened to him. He knows it. Way worse has happened to him, and he knows it. Like that little thing they do to see if you're awake.
Smelling salt.
Put that
Smell
little
my
finger
finger.
under your nose.
No.
Smell this.
Sienna just does a top rope elbow. And she thinks, oh, if Dad's asleep, I'm going to get on a corner of the sofa, jump on him, and see if he wakes up.
Oh, God.
The insane elbow for no reason.
Yeah, straight up.
And what about you, Cortez?
Yes.
I have a in a Marvel
water.
cup. This is a classic American beverage.
Jackie Cook.
Cola.
Who'd you steal it from?
Stealing is not the operative term.
Oh, appropriating.
He appropriated.
Acquired.
He discovered it.
It has been acquired.
Some people might call it nepotism. Other people might call it inheritance.
Oh.
Either way it goes, I
Okay.
still got it.
Oh.
And it is great. Jarton.
Got there. Ooh. This.
Oh, a Scottish beverage. Kidding.
Irish,
Not
for
Scottish.
God's sake.
I was joking,
Don't
Mr.
trigger him this early
Alistair
in the
Black.
show. It's too early. I'm surprised.
It's straight off to the... No, all right, sorry.
I have a New Zealander pattern on my uniform. Okay, I don't care where you came from. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm just kidding.
Do we have any evidence that Scotland isn't in New Zealand? Do we have any proof of that?
I thought Scotland was like close to Ireland at least.
It is.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh.
Other side
Shut
of
up, you United Kingdom.
This
What is that? What the heck is the United Kingdom? Half of y'all are in the European Union. The other half of y'all Brexited your way out.
That's not how it works.
You have euros over here. You got pounds over here. Quids and
Right.
who's
Go
gonna catch
buy-
the snitch and Harry Potter?
Go buy yourself an Encyclopedia Britannica and educate yourself.
First
for
of all,
fuck's sake.
Britannica was a ship that was sister to the Titanic, and we all know how that happened.
the
Okay,
little sister to the Titanic was
blame
Britannica.
blame the Brits.
My God.
This has gone off the rails far too early.
Yes, it has.
We're back.
Maybe,
We're back in the swing of things.
yeah, maybe.
That's because Jartan's back. He brought it on.
Exactly.
He started this.
Last week is all love, peace, and humanity.
We talked about a lot of good stuff last week. Please go check out last week's podcast if you haven't yet. It was very informational and it was a little bit different than what we normally do, but I think that you guys would enjoy it, and I definitely did.
Yeah, and Landon's committed to coming back on the 23rd. So in 2 weeks he'll be back. For another
Good stuff.
one.
It was a
I
fantastic.
practically begged him to come back anyway, so I'm glad that he acquiesced to Mikey.
I got connections, y'all. All right, first topic on the chopping block.
Because you pay more for internet.
That is correct. we'll go to the Supreme Court, shall we?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Supreme Court has been busy.
Busy. I will read this first little article we got here. If you guys want to follow along, Mixer or YouTube probably has the best visibility. Mixer has the lowest thing. You can also check us out on Twitch. We have a Twitch channel now. Because Mixer's going away as soon as we get everything figured out and up and running. But anyways, the article. This is from the New York Times. Supreme Court.
Hey, you forgot to do your swish, swish.
Oh, swish, swash, swish, swash.
There we go.
That's from my transitions. For all of you just listening, you'll hear the transitions. That's my transitions. Supreme Court upholds the Trump administration regulation letting employers opt out of birth control coverage. Yikes. The regulation was the latest attempt to undermine the contraception mandate, a signature initiative of the Obama administration. Should I continue reading, or do we want to? Is that enough?
No.
Okay.
No, keep going.
Okay.
Because it gets worse.
It gets so much worse.
It gets really bad.
Washington. The Supreme Court on Wednesday upheld a Trump administration regulation that lets employers with religious or moral objections limit women's access to birth control coverage under the Affordable Care Act, and could result in as many as 126,000 women losing contraceptive coverage from their employers. The 7-2 decision was the latest turn in 7 years. Sorry, too much bubbly. Turn in 7 years of fierce litigation over the contraception mandate, a signature initiative of the Obama administration that required most employers to provide cost-free coverage for contraception, and that the Trump administration has sought to limit. In a second,
all right, stop. Okay, all right. So basically,
Mikey's sex wee noise.
So basically what they're saying is that if you have any objection at all, because it's if you have moral or what was it? Was religious, moral objections as an employer, you can limit one of your employees access to birth control coverage.
Basically, it's that the insurance companies do not have to cover any type of birth control or contraception, which runs the gamut. This, to me, because it's specifically for women, is discrimination.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%
because
agreement.
there is nothing that says that they're going to limit, say, men's access to Viagra, right?
Yep.
This is strictly for women. And they have the what was the outcome? 7-2?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a reason why we all have to be very careful about who we put in power, especially when it comes to the executive branch, because they're in charge of picking people to put in these positions. This is a very powerful position in the Supreme Court because of this shit. And when you're not well represented, when, you know, the women on the court, when there's only a few women on the court, when there's mostly white men on the court, this is what happens. We get our rights taken away.
And it's not even like it's a crazy thing to be on birth control. It's a pill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because someone's on birth control doesn't mean they're having tons and tons of sex.
Even if they were, that's their prerogative.
Even if they were, it's not an issue. But there are other reasons why women take birth control.
Mm-hmm. It's a form of getting estrogen. So if you need hormones,
right,
for various reasons, whether it's because you have thyroid problems, that you have low production of hormones. It's actually a way to produce hormones.
Yeah, but I think that we're missing a bigger problem issue here, because one of the biggest issues I have is that there has never been any legislation at any point in any point of history who limits what men can do to their bodies, right? But we keep limiting women's opportunity to the same prerogative. Like birth control, why shouldn't it be? Like it's just fucking annoying, the fact that there's legislation that where your employer can decide if you're under the ACA can have access to fucking. It's just ludicrous in every sense of the fucking word. It's just
it's dangerous, and it's incredibly dangerous.
Yes,
it's alien to me. It's alien to me, because we have always had access to free birth control for women since I can remember. This is what frustrates me about America, when they start bragging about, oh, we're so fucking great and we're so this and we're so that, and it's like, what? Fuck off! Yeah, jog on, mate. How dare you sit there and fucking have the arrogance and the bald-faced fucking gusto to say, oh, we're the best country on the planet. It
continues to be this type of legislation, these types of rulings about how our women's healthcare is taken care of, is all done by these old white men. And I'm not like, I know it's kind of a theme, but this is a problem. Because old white men have no idea what I need as a woman, as a young woman, who I do need access to my own health.
Come on, you're not that young.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. He's trying to die today. Oh, man.
No, but I do.
Well, this has been the podcast. I'm going to Sweden, and I'm going to kill Jared.
Going to the airport. A machete.
Can you not just sort of like deputize Emma?
Yeah. HR.
HR around there.
Give me a second. I'm just going to lock the door.
She's
imagine all of a sudden you see a shotgun barrel.
Yeah. Hello, HR.
Yeah, I just realized I just realized they have their own key.
You know, I would like to say,
aging Dr. Emma.
I really think that it does such a disservice to the population of people in this country that the only people that are making decisions are people that aren't affected by them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's a slap in the face. It's disgusting. Yeah. It really is. Like, you're not affected by the decisions that you're making. Yeah, you keep making them and keep telling everyone else this is what we have to do, and this is what we have to get together and get through. Like, you can't tell me that we have to get through anything if you're not affected by it.
Right.
So, for the judges that are saying this, or the lobbyists, or whoever's saying this, that you're not a woman. You don't understand what she goes through or what the reasons are behind that she either is prescribed birth control or chooses to take it. You're trying to take it away for what reason?
Yeah, but I have to give some pushback on one thing. I don't agree with the fact that you have to have lived through one thing to understand and sympathize with how it is. You don't have to be
that at all. I'm not saying
Brenna said that. Brenna said that. Like, white men don't understand. Old white men don't understand what she as a woman needs. I don't think that you have to have lived as a woman to understand.
Your sounds triggered.
Yeah.
No, I'm not triggered. I'm just saying you don't have to be that.
This is the problem.
Quit stirring the pot, you two. Let him finish.
Fucking up. Fuck you. No,
I have a problem with this old white man.
I can tell you. I promise you, a lot of people do. So I'm not offended at all. But the thing is, right? This is just something that should exist, right? women are impacted more by an unwanted pregnancy than a man is through her work. She should have, and as we said, it's not just as for birth control, it's for a lot of other reasons, for hormones, for everything else, right? And what's kind of funny for me is that the Affordable Care Act is sort of designed for people who are not privileged in an economic sense, right?
Right.
And these are the people who are in the majority voting for the conservative side that are taking these things away from them that they really fucking need.
And the one thing that we're all kind of talking past, because we are so focused on the women and the women that are affected by this, is these are religious companies, which is already a problem. Or people who have moral objections to what's going on in somebody's house. Like, that's already problematic.
Oh, you best believe I was making my way there.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's one thing if my company decides, I'm going to need you to not smoke meth. I told you Breaking Bad is all in my brain. I'm going to need you to not smoke meth if you work here. Okay. I could understand that because that could inhibit the way that I work. I might be irrational because I'm high all the time. That I could see a case for that. But
and it's illegal.
And it's illegal. So what is your case for birth control? There is no reason that birth control should have any effect on any employee underneath me in a company. Like, what is birth control doing to them that I have to have an objection to it?
It's actually preventative care. So it would be the same thing as if we were taking vitamins to not, get sick. It's preventative, which preventative care, the reason why the ACA has started off so well is because their commitment to preventative care, making sure that things like stress, things like regular health was a priority, because it's more expensive for the for the taxpayer to have the money go towards the care of people, whereas preventative care is actually cheaper.
Yes, all of these are very good arguments, but what does it matter? Has there been a law or a fucking high court ruling about what pills a man is allowed to take?
They're giving Viagra out in the military.
Yeah, but like, can you imagine? But they won't
give birth control out in the military. They won't give hormone replacement.
As a Satanist, that goes against my religious beliefs, so I'm going to need that to stop.
Yeah. Well, imagine that the Supreme Court went out and said employers are allowed to deny men to take these pills.
Any pill.
Like any pill, like these pills, these specific pills, they are not allowed to take.
They would be at the steps of the Supreme Court with pitchforks.
No, they would be standing there with their fucking American flag bandanas and their AR-15s going like, what the fuck?
They couldn't walk into the grocery store with a mask on. Do you think that they're going to tolerate not having access to heart medication?
Right.
Because heart issues affect men more than women.
Let me get this out, right? Because what we're doing is we're overcomplicating the situation. But the fact of the matter is, the Supreme Court has deemed one group's opinion means more than another group's. So without it being men, women, anything like that, it's just some person's opinion. That's all it is. It's worth more to the Supreme Court than someone else's. There's the problem. It's got nothing to do. It's got everything to do with
money.
And all that. It's just money. Money and opinion, and that's it.
And it has a whole hell of a lot to do with our insurance companies, our private insurance companies.
Exactly.
And because they only make money if you're sick.
And then they don't pay out when you don't meet the criteria.
Exactly.
Unlike the fabulous NHS that we have over here, that we clap for every Thursday, that delivered our second daughter successfully through cesarean
And
section
healthy.
with no cost to ourselves. Within 24 hours, mum and baby were back home. And
So what you're saying is that children matter in your society.
I'm gonna need you to wind your neck in, Wayne.
And your
fucking healthcare. I'm fucking jealous. This is bullshit.
Yeah,
How dare you rub it in my face like that?
So in 3 weeks, right? Carrie has to go back to work because you don't have parental leave.
Ooh, get one up, mother.
No, she's got full maternity pay.
Ooh, for how long?
A year.
Yeah.
No, really?
What the
fuck?
Yeah.
No way.
And I have paternity pay as well.
What?
Bullshit.
So I'll get paid. I'll get paid to stay at home for 2 weeks.
Wait, hold on.
Socialism is a really bad idea.
It's terrible.
Fuck?
Jesus Christ.
And if I wanted to, I could split Kerry's maternity with me. So I could take 6 months off, and she could take 6 months off, and we both get paid.
How is your country not bankrupt?
This is America.
This is a fucking sham. Let me off the boat. I don't want to be here no more. This is bullshit.
So, how come
the bed is made?
Brenna, how come they don't talk about this here?
Talk about
how come they don't talk about this here? How come we don't have any of these perks of this uncivilized socialist nation that they do?
No, all we get is the biggest fucking army ever.
Because only North Korea, Venezuela, USSR, and fucking China are socialist countries, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Bullshit.
And Nazis as well. Yeah, Nazis.
Yeah, and Nazis. Yeah, the Nazis, because they were social democrats. They said that it's the National Social Democrat Party. They said that.
Can I trade in one of the tanks that we have to, like, when my girl's ready? Can we deliver her baby for free if we trade in one of the tanks that they're using on, like, protesters? Like, can we sell a couple of MRAPs? You know, the mine-resistant armored people carriers. Like,
Mikey,
they have on regular ass streets.
Yeah.
If you manage to get your COVID down, right? Eventually, the rest of the world will let you go somewhere, and you could, if you timed it right, come here. If the missus has a baby over here,
we can't go to Canada.
Let me tell you something right now.
We can't go to
let me tell you
Mexico.
Let me tell you something.
Planet America is quarantined.
First of all, Mexico don't even want us.
Yeah.
Because our president talks so much shit about their country.
They also don't want the coronavirus.
Then you have the Canadians who look at us like as the dirty cousins.
We are.
Yeah.
So
the cousins with the missing teeth.
You know, I'm really.
Hey, Cletus, look, we got one of these ones over here.
Like, I'm literally sitting over here looking at all this and figuring how disgusting everything is really starting to get, and how ignorant people are. And this is really, it's really starting to tell me, like, I really wish that I could leave this country and move to somewhere where I can at least know that things are going to be okay. Because I don't feel like
So I really wish that you could lift your camera like an inch and a half.
But not saying
there's plenty of people in your country that want you to do that.
Yo,
yeah, but
point, let them keep the change. I'm willing to let them. They think they got this under control. Go for it.
But here's the thing. Do you know how hard it is to get rid of your citizenship for this country? It ain't easy.
No,
even if you want to become you have to get rid of some. So you have to get rid of it, and it's not easy to do. On top of it not being easy to do, you have the fact that right now they're refusing to believe that COVID is real.
Yeah.
This is not, it's not one of those things where, oh, well, I think I have a good immune system. No, they refuse to believe that it's a real thing. They think this is a democratic hoax.
And where is that perpetuated?
You know, I don't have to say it out loud.
At the top, which is why it's so dangerous. And people are dying, and children are now dying from this. Children.
I was speaking with a Canadian last night. These people will not care unless it happens to their family, and then the world has to stop. Fix it.
Yeah.
It's because you have over generations did that an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, me, myself, and just me. I'll take care of myself, you take care of you. I'm not paying for anybody else kind of bullshit mentality.
Right.
Yeah, but we pay for everything else.
Don't tread on me.
Yes, but you
for example, let me break it down.
You pay more percentage of your salary in your with everything included, right? Your state tax, your federal tax, and your income tax, and your insurance and everything.
Don't forget sales tax. When I buy something, I'm still paying more taxes.
Yeah. That annoyed me as shit when I went to buy groceries in the United States, right? And I'm like, all right, so I got this much money, and then they put fucking tax on that shit.
Yep.
So we have
the prices are not with tax,
county tax,
because we as the consumer pay the taxes that the business should be paying.
Yeah.
So they put that on us.
We have to pay state tax, county tax, and city tax,
and federal tax
on top of federal tax, income tax, and state tax and more taxes when you get paid. So not only am I paying taxes, I'm paying tax on top of taxes, and tax on top of those kids' taxes. I'm paying grandparents' taxes too. Don't forget.
And then the businesses get tax breaks.
Yes,
they actually get most of their money back.
But here's the point: like me and Mikey, but me and Mikey did the math on this, right? He pays more of a percentage.
Maths on the end.
The mathematics.
Math.
And mathematics.
Mathematics.
Fuck you. He pays a higher percentage of his income to everything that he needs than I do.
Yep.
Right.
Speaking of taxes.
Yes, please.
I think we should go on to the next Supreme Court decision, which is a bit more on the positive side.
Brenna just did a segue.
Look at her go. Swish, 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 swish.
And she turned into a Simpson.
Yellow lives matter, people. Sorry.
We're getting to that.
All right.
I'm done. I can't deal with this shit.
I can drop the links for anybody if you want them. The links.
Bernie, you need some of this stuff.
Oh Lord, look at Wayne. This one coming from CNN.com. Supreme Court rules on Trump's financial records. There are a lot of mini subsections, but here's what we covered. The Supreme Court issued opinions on 2 cases related to President Trump's financial records. Justices blocked House Democrats from accessing Trump's records, but ruled that the president is not immune from a subpoena from a New York prosecutor. Both cases were sent back to lower courts for further review, all but ensuring that Trump's financial documents, which he has long sought to shield from public view, will not be handed over before the November election. There you go.
Yes. Do you think you're right, Mikey? Do you still think you're right about his assessment about his wealth?
Yeah, I still think he's broke. And also, another little pin to add to my cork board with the red string connecting my conspiracy here. I guarantee you there's some money that went over to Epstein.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I like that. So.
I think there's financial records of them being joined and them doing stuff together.
And Prince Andrew.
They definitely did stuff together. It just wasn't financial.
I think that's the string that's the tie that binds them, and that might have been what he was avoiding all along. Not just the fact that he's broke, but also the fact that he's tied to a lot of nasty motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. So aside from the
there's going to be a lot of mob connections are going to be brought into life. All that money that he's been borrowing from Russia and from various
wasn't one of his biggest lenders, wasn't that China though? The bank in China.
All right, hang on.
Oh yeah, no, this is
Cortez. You said a couple of your cousins are lawyers. Can you get them on the phone right now before we start treading into territory where we're going to get fucking sued?
You really want me to call my cousin?
Yeah, we really want you to call your cousin.
I want to get sued.
Yeah.
I don't have any money anyway. They can go for it.
Let me say this.
I have nothing to
Phone
Voice and opinions of everyone else on the big podcast.
Faux news. FAUX news. Intentionally cut out a picture of Donald Trump from Jeffrey Epstein and then the new lady who was arrested.
Yeah,
they did the same with Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Because if you widen that picture, that famous picture of Prince Andrew and that 17-year-old lady, it's Jeffrey Epstein's missus in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. All right. Everybody watching, you should really go to Netflix and see that documentary about Epstein, which is called Filthy Rich.
I've been wanting to watch it, but every time, transition. Every time I even think about clicking on it, I just get that fucking gross feeling in my gut, and I'm just like, ugh, I'll just watch Batman. Like I can't. I'll watch fucking Dark Knight again. I can't.
It's just.
It's a good watch, right? It's a good watch. So definitely you should go in and see it because fucking hell, that shit.
1 second, Dan, that is false.
I already told you
that
to
is
stop
false.
reading the chat.
No. We're not allowed to read the chat. Do not engage.
All right.
We're not
I will
doing it.
not. I'm not going to say anything else other than that is false. It's been proven false.
Yeah, but it's not even on the topic. That's
all right.
We need to stay on our topic.
So back to what we were talking about.
Yes.
They're saying that the president was developing a case over the last 20 years of his minglings with an Epstein and Epstein's friends, that he was developing a case to prosecute him 20 years ago. So he just knew he was going to be the president in 2020 and not in 1996 and when they were all hanging out and stuff like that. So I just don't, let me ask you this question. If you support the president for every reason that you say you support him for, and you believe the crap that's coming out of his mouth, please lose your voter registration, because you are no better than any conspiracy theorist or alien nut out there that where do you get this stuff from? You think President Trump,
making the frogs gay?
President Trump was putting together a presidential investigation 20 years ago? Yes, I'm yelling at you because it's ridiculous. 20 years ago, he was launching a case against Epstein. Get out of here. He was mingling with rich people, doing rich people crap. And we all know what I'm talking about.
And to be fair, I think it's got mostly things to do with his performance in Home Alone 2, because that was a travesty. That's fucking diabolical.
And he's pissed off about that too because they cut him out of the movie.
Yeah, he's mad.
Yeah, but if you're mad about these things,
they took his scene out.
Mike done got me hot.
If you're mad about these things, I have this rocket that I'm building that could take you to the moon.
So anyway, this is the importance. This is the
you want to take a ride on Space Mountain?
Mikey, if you got host powers, can you just shut down? Going off on mum.
So this is the importance of elections, because elections do have consequences, and the Supreme Court are the ones that block Congress. When you get a bunch of douchebags put in by a bunch of douchebags and they sit on the highest court in the land, this is what happens. So he's not immune, which means the Southern District of New York can go after him later. But as of right now, we don't have that information before the election. Mm-hmm. So that's why.
And he's going to get reelected.
That's why Kavanaugh was such a big deal. Because putting those people on the seat for life.
He's basically stacking the deck for himself.
Yep. And if RGB goes, then it's going to be, and he's going to put in another Kavanaugh part 2.
They won't prosecute him. They won't prosecute him. That's what's happening.
Well, they're not prosecutors. That's not their job to prosecute.
What I'm saying is, if for example, if I had a judge, and I knew that I was doing some stuff wrong, and I had judge, and I can just keep on assigning judges to the highest court in the country, I would do it. Keep on assigning judges so if I ever needed them, I could get away.
But the thing is, it already looks moody anyway because he sacked that fella who was the top of the Southern New York. No, the Southern New York. What's it called?
Oh, I'm looking.
The people that were subpoenaing him, for fuck's sake.
Southern District of New York.
That's it. Yeah, they were subpoenaing him, and he sacked the fella. And he said, "Oh, it wasn't my decision. It was someone else's. That's not my business." He said that, and I'm like, "How's it? This guy's investigating you, and you've
Berman.
you've sacked him.
Berman.
You've sacked him, and you're saying, "Oh, it's nothing to do with you." What? Fuck off.
Yep.
Having a laugh, mate.
That's exactly how Illinois politics works.
Illinois politics doesn't work.
Well, it's working perfectly, which is dysfunctional.
Yeah,
which is the problem. But Blagojevich and all of them are big friends with Trump.
Yeah, that's why Trump let him free and gave him a presidential pardon.
He expedited. He clemency.
Clemency. You don't have to serve your time. You're famous.
Yeah.
You're my friend.
Being president sounds a fucking good gig, to be fair. You can just
especially if you're a broke old man. You have a lifestyle where, like, think about this. If he's the president for 8 years, he hasn't had to pay for a single thing for 8 years. He's getting $400,000.
He's been getting paid.
Donating his salary.
He's been getting paid.
He's been getting paid by us taxpayers.
The emoluments clause that he's just
the $200+ million that he spent vacationing in the last 4 years.
He didn't spend that vacationing. He put that in his pocket because he only went to his own properties.
Yeah, he went to his own resorts.
And he put the Secret Service up in the best rooms and all the. You know how it goes.
Secondly, doesn't he own Mar-a-Lago? That's his place, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So wait, so you mean to tell me, since we're on this subject, that him, Epstein, all of these weirdos out there were all at Mar-a-Lago together, and Trump doesn't know him?
Never heard of him.
But you own the place, and you were there.
Never heard of him.
Like Florida's Bohemian Grove.
Yeah. So how many
Trump
people
meets
like
a lot of people.
can walk up to the president and shake his hand and take a picture with him?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't recall.
Yeah. All right.
That's the bullshit.
Oh yeah, I love WikiLeaks. I don't know what WikiLeaks is. Never heard of it.
This is the thing. This is like
I love WikiLeaks. What the fuck is a WikiLeaks?
Never heard of it.
It's a tweet for everything.
He said, I have this man on video at least 35 times saying, I love WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. Oh yeah, WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. Hold on, with his pinky and his thumb together. WikiLeaks. And
I think that's the sign of a creepo. When you start rubbing your pinky and thumb together, it's something you're some sort of predator.
This is the one that
wait. I'm just gonna have a drink.
I'll join you.
No. It's gotta be.
I'll get a straw.
Oh, that should be our.
We all did it. We all did it. Fabulous. Everybody, great job.
There was, I think it was either What Now or Occupy Democrats that did basically a back-to-back video of Trump talking about Obama golfing. I'm never going to golf. Then golfing, however many times. I'm not going to do this, and then that. I'm not going to spend my time. I'm going to be too busy in the White House to be doing whatever.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker is in his underwear till 11 a.m.
Yeah,
he don't work on Saturday.
Fox News.
And
No.
He doesn't
Executive times.
He doesn't listen to his daily briefings. He doesn't read them.
That came out too. That if there wasn't videos in it or pictures, they couldn't get his attention.
If it didn't have his name in it,
yeah,
like he won't listen if it's not about him.
It's crazy.
This man.
This is not a president. This is an asshole.
This man doesn't have a laptop.
But do you know what? He can cure cancer.
Neither does Wayne.
No. I do actually. I just choose not to use it.
Oh.
Don't tread on me.
All right.
No, but
my body, my rules.
Yeah, Donald Trump can cure cancer tomorrow. Did you know that?
He just doesn't want to, right?
Well, he's
Apparently
very
he's a-
smart.
He's a genius.
You
He
just
knows-
He's a very stable genius.
Many words, big words.
Listen.
The best.
The best
If you don't
words.
test for cancer, your cancer rates go down. Somebody.
So does
Stop testing the
pregnancy
Was that
tests.
the dude that meme of Homeboy?
Yeah.
If I don't test for cancer, I don't have cancer.
And the reason that our rates are so high is because we test so much.
Oh,
So this man,
Yes.
this man literally said the reason why we're getting more tests positive is because we're testing more people.
Yes.
Yep. So you
Everyone
can cure
looked
it
at-
overnight. Don't test.
I can imagine everybody in the
he
in the
knows
fucking
science.
everybody in the press conference was just like, "Yeah, did you have something to follow that up, or?"
Oh my god, I would just throw like the notebook down and run out and go, this
You-
sucks.
Yeah, you guys
I'm gonna
ever
be a
listen to,
banker.
like a freestyle battle when everybody's waiting for the punchline. They're all like,
In the month of
and the
June,
dude's just
we
like,
had-
and the dude's not saying anything. He's just like, yeah.
in the month of June, we had no new drivers because we didn't take any driving tests.
This is the lowest. I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. We've had less automobile accidents this year than
Because we
any
didn't report them.
in the last 10. And I have to say, did we have like a majority of the country not go outside for like over a month straight? Like, listen, I'm gonna say
My car insurance company is giving me money. Like, because we're not driving.
The Democrats would lie and try to act like I didn't just lower.
This is political.
They're gonna try and act like I didn't lower the car crash rate and lower the pollution. They're gonna act like I didn't do it.
Look how great I am for the environment.
Under my administration.
We do the worst Donald Trump impressions
I gotta work
ever.
on mine.
Yeah,
I'm just sticking with Alex Jones. I'm sticking with Alex Jones because we have
okay.
to.
So do I have to learn
I'm
how to
gonna
do
say it.
Tony Laren? 'Cause
No.
No,
I
Do
no.
not say her name here.
Mm-mm.
Tammy Lasagna or Toby Lobotomy.
like
Tammy
Tugboat.
laryngitis. Okay,
I like Tammy Laryngitis. I like Tugboat the best.
all right.
That's
John Laurinaitis, but not Terry, not the other one. All right, I'm gonna say this, and it's just numbers. When you come into an argument with me, and you only want to throw polls, statistics, or this sample size of everything that you want to portray, and your first thing to come out of your mouth is, well, this percentage of people have got. I'm gonna look you in the face. I'm like, look, your numbers is not telling the truth. You can find whatever number you want to find on Google, but it's not telling the truth of what's really going on out here.
It's easier to cherry pick numbers that prove your case than looking at something like a study, which is better to look at than a stat, because a single stat doesn't mean anything. There's
Confirmation bias.
Yeah,
It's confirmation bias. And I tell you, I don't want to put him over, but a certain person who does a skit called Change My Mind, he takes great pride in showing like what the stats that he puts out there. He will put the link underneath where he's saying it. And then when you click on the link, you see, oh, this is a very, very sort of strategically targeted study.
there's a lot of omission.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, when you get like a shampoo advert, like X amount of percentage of women's agreed, and it says like 67% of 137 women surveyed. But that's not a fucking survey.
right.
No, because there's not millions of women in just country alone.
But because of advertising rules, that gets through.
Yeah.
And that's the same shit that goes on with these studies that come out. And again, at the same time, you've got to see who funded that study. So you get all this nonsense that, you know, X amount of people believe this, and then you go, oh, okay, that must be true. But once you do the research and actually do your due diligence and look as to who funded that research, as to why, what was the motivation behind that, you go, oh, okay, well, there's clearly a slant on there. So we are too susceptible to just believe what we're told, and it's very easy for us to just go, oh, okay, it must be true.
Well, we believe
And-
advertising. That's the thing.
Yes,
We
yes,
believe
and that's what
advertising.
advertisers believe.
Yeah.
That's what
Like propaganda is literally
manipulation.
advertising. We believe it because we're conditioned to believe advertising. 9 out of 10 doctors agree that this is the one you should use.
Right.
That's how Edward Bernays made his money. He was the nephew of Sigmund Freud and used Freud's techniques in advertising. He's also called the godfather of PR because what he did was he used emotional manipulation to sell stuff, and that process still going on today.
Well, in the 90s, we had these products that used to come on TV.
In the 90s.
Like, for example, let's say that there's a slide that they're selling, and he says, if you love your kids, you'd get them this slide because it's the best thing for them. So now every kid's like, mommy and daddy, you don't love me because I ain't got one of those. Yeah. It's just like when the president says, black people this and black people that, and I've done so much for them. Where?
That's a nice segue. That's a nice segue.
I was gonna say.
Look at us killing it on the segues.
Okay, on the segues. That was just
that
the ballpark.
Off the glass.
It was so good, you turned Brandon yellow.
That was slicker than come on a gold tooth.
I hate all you people.
Hey.
Whoa, you people. Whoa.
Look at the title of the show today.
What do you mean?
It's the theme.
Who do you mean, you people?
Is it the beard?
All those bearded people.
All you crazy people. All right, let's move on.
I'm not going to play the clip, but I'll drop the link.
Yep.
Because who is this from? Oh, the little indie film has its own whatever.
Yeah.
Has its own YouTube.
It has its own YouTube channel.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Why are we going? Oh.
Happy. There we go.
Did you just post
Maybe.
the Zoom call?
Maybe.
To the chat?
Maybe.
So, all right.
Why have you done that?
You just posted a link to the Zoom call.
Yeah, come on
in the chat.
Good luck.
No. Who is it?
Just deny everybody.
Yeah, exactly. There's a waiting room now, so they can't get in anyway.
It's just.
I don't know. It won't copy and paste. That's fine.
So if you, everybody at Monster, we need you to give us some advertising money so that he can drink more because he's doing less better when he's drunk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Everyone at Ferrari, if you could send us all a cup, we'll happily talk about your product on the show.
And Guinness, because you're a small independent company, please give me a call.
If you guys really want.
How about LaCroix?
No.
All right. While Mike is figuring his shit out, Brad, mid-roll, please.
Sorry, I'm yellow.
No yellow.
I'm blue. Not gonna sing that song because it's copyrighted strike.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
Hey, come on. The Beatles will come right after us.
Hey, you look, at least I changed the words up so we can't get in trouble. But you kept the same ones and the title song. You could have said green
Fucking fair use, dude.
There's 9 billion colors out there.
Wait. Paul. Yeah, sorry about that, mate. Yeah, tell Ringo. It was
There he goes with his British privilege again.
All right, sorry about that, mate. Yeah, we won't do it again. Yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine is a cunt. Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh, okay. You think you got friends in high places, Wayne? So do I. Oh, watch this. Bet you can't beat this one. Hello, John. Yeah, John. Wayne and Paul have gotten together. Yeah, how is it up there?
This is great.
Oh yeah.
What's happening?
Tell Bob I said what's up. That's my homeboy. Right here. So I'm about to say. Oh wait.
What's happening?
Yeah. John said he don't care.
I don't know.
Who are they talking to?
I don't know. They're making fake.
He called Paul McCartney, so I had to call John Lennon. Prove me wrong.
Oh, we've got
Yeah, I
massively off
did.
the rails. This is your fault, Brenna.
Yeah, I blame Brenna.
I do too.
Yeah, Brenna, just do the mid roll, please.
I'm sorry. I'm yellow. This
Brenna's
is very
yellow.
disheartening
These guys
to me.
are talking to alive and dead celebrities that they don't know. And
Hey, homie.
Technical
Brenna,
difficulties.
yeah,
What do you
Brenna.
want from me?
I
You know
think
what?
that you would be better off if you turned off your back rate.
You know what, Wayne? I can't take it no more. Lizzie, deport him.
Oh, mate, she's too busy with David Icke and the Illuminati fucking things up.
well, it's officially happened. They've officially lost it.
Okay, fine.
We gotta change the name to the Looney Bin Podcast.
We are.
Is that copyrighted? That's not copyrighted.
It probably is.
And it's probably offensive to
We'll just
someone
push the
somewhere.
names together and no spaces, and then you can not violate it.
All right, everybody. So if you want to
Likey,
help us
Nike.
out, because obviously we
and a
need
Y.
a lot of help.
You're blue now.
Stop, Cortez. Just let her be blue. Jesus Christ.
If you want to be from the Avatar planet, that's fine. I'm not discriminating.
Why, oh why didn't I take the red pill?
We're asking the same question.
Ignorance is bliss.
Don't take the little blue one.
Yeah. And go
Yeah,
around
but
the
you
chicken
get that shit for free.
Right? Oh, socialist ass.
I'm talking about if you're at 4.5 hours, just call. Don't wait for hour 5. Just call. Call.
He said if I'm at 4.5 hours, I'm having a good time.
I almost made some very inappropriate joke. Brenna, hit that mid roll, please. Before
Okay,
this goes
'cause-
any worse.
Because we all
Well,
need help, apparently.
I don't want to Wayne Charten right now.
Okay, you know what, Mikey? Shut up.
I
I'm
don't
not
want to
gonna
wait.
lampoon my friend.
I like
on
that one.
air. I would never do that to him. I am a true friend.
I don't want to wait for your turn.
We've now gone to Dawson's Creek, for fuck's sake.
All right, I'm gonna go take a wee. Brenna, just get the mid roll done while I'm having a wee.
That was
Oh,
we upset the sweet.
Oh, poor guy.
Hi everybody. Okay. If you want to help us out, you can help us out by going to patreon.com/thebittenpodcast, and you can give us some money so that we can get Wayne a new laptop, because he now has 2 children that he's supporting. Poor
Not
guy.
paying for him, so shit.
Wayne, that's
Well,
a
he
tablet,
doesn't
not
have
a
to pay for
laptop.
them to come into the world. God.
Feed him or clothe him. You get
I
everything.
just,
there.
yeah.
That's also a tablet.
He's gonna pull out a
Or-
TI-86 in a second.
That's a calculator.
That's an abacus, Wayne. You can't join Zoom calls on an abacus.
Actually, us, you idiots.
No, that's me, actually. Just- And I'm not
what about
yellow.
you?
No, you're
Right,
blue
yeah.
now. It's okay.
Stop, Cortez.
Look, Cortez, sometimes we get a little emotional, and being blue is okay.
Not if I mean you turn blue when you die too, so I'm worried about you.
Don't set her off.
Don't
please.
bloat.
Don't set her off, please.
Do not bloat.
I love you all.
Maybe she had some of that gum like in Willy Wonka.
Sounds really good right now.
Everlasting
It's like
gobstopper.
beef. It's like beef stew, right? They have beef stew and then handed it
I
home.
want it now.
Baruka song.
No, they had.
Veruca Salt, that's my daughter. I want the world.
I played Veruca Salt in my.
Oh,
School play.
please give us
Speaks.
us a couple choice
volume.
lines.
Where's
want to
my
go to the
golden
exam
ticket?
setting.
I want my golden ticket. Oh yeah, here it is. That's my opening line. All right.
Expecting more passion.
I
Take
was in
two.
I was in sixth grade.
Take 2. We're gonna everybody
That
reset
was-
back to 1.
That was 25 years ago.
Give me all of your lines.
Positions.
Everybody back to 1.
Okay.
Maybe Mid-roll.
All right, I'm done. I'm done with this mid-roll. You guys not even listening to me. Please, everybody out there who's listening to this, please help.
No, actually, no one give us money because if we all hang out together, she's going to murder all of us.
Video.
As soon as we all get together, Brenda's just going to murder us.
Could you put me off of full screen?
I'm Arch.
Brenda's there in that orange jumpsuit with Mikey standing behind with a knife.
God, I hate this thing.
Give us your money.
All right, guys, he's
I
back.
blame you, Obama.
He's back. Don't talk
So
about
I had to play a British kid in 6th grade, a black British kid in a play, and I had the absolute worst. It was called Turner's Christmas, but it was the absolute worst British accent after watching it as a child I've ever heard.
It was probably
I was in 6th grade, and so I remember some of the lines. And so what happens is, as Turney is an elf who's come from the North Pole, and I am a British slum kid, and I find him, and I say, "Boy, you're funny looking," and I goes, "What's wrong with your shoes?" And then he goes, "My shoes."
Rastafari.
Yeah, I was about to say.
This is getting worse. I love it.
Okay, for you guys who don't know, there are lots of Jamaican British people because Britain gave everyone in Jamaica the ability.
Wait a second. Wait has to say. Wait.
Say that sentence
We have a
one more
line.
time. Can you please say that sentence one more
The
time?
one from the plane?
No. There are a lot of.
There are a lot of Jamaicans in Britain.
Oh,
No,
really?
That's not Jamaican people.
That's not what you said, though.
There are a lot of British Jamaican people.
Oh, God.
You didn't know that?
No, it was the way that you said it.
How do people not know that? Because like,
No. It wasn't
No.
what you
Should I
said.
be surprised?
It wasn't what you said. It was the mistake in how you said it, which was
What?
hilarious.
I didn't catch it. I'm about to watch this over again.
All right, move on. Have we moved on?
When you never seen a Jamaican in Britain? Did you not go to school?
No.
Yes.
I was like, nah, I never did.
Oh.
I just love how he was like, yo, they were like, so Cortez, what we're gonna need you to do is try a British accent. He's like, oh, I know what to do. And it went straight Rastafari. He's like, see, actually, a lot of Jamaicans is British, so it comes back. So this is British.
No obe, sister. No devil, no dope. Everything's gonna be
Hey man, I can't help it. It be like that sometimes.
Move on.
All right, moving on. Next topic.
That's worse than that was worse than my British accent.
That's the only one I had access to at the time.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't know Wayne yet.
That's and it's funny because now every time Cortez calls me and I answer, I'm like, Wagwan. All right.
Rock one big man.
Wagwan, big man.
Go on now,
Oh,
bless me.
You want to hear some curry goat, yeah?
Still cooking with our rice on peas.
Don't talk about food. You know how Brenna gets aroused when you talk about curry goat.
Yeah, she turns yellow.
He said,
Oh my god, leave me alone.
Just don't say anything about it. Just we'll fix it in post.
Brenna, you've got a direct line to HR, haven't you? I just want to see, you know, like the old hook, the old sheep's hook, come in and just
Oh yeah.
whips your chain off.
The shepherd's crook.
Dr.
Still singing as I go along.
Insane, man. So do you, Shartan, did you want to read the stuff and introduce this one, because I don't want to
this
play
is-
the thing.
All right. So, should I do the thing with the video first? Let's start over there. All right. So, there's this coming soon a video or a movie called Uncle Tom, which from my understanding is about how black people in America should pull themselves up by the bootstraps and just...
Well, the phrase Uncle Tom is typically given to a self-hating black person. A black person who doesn't care about black people's individual freedoms and rights and just thinks everything is fine the way it is, and their fellow blacks should just stop complaining about things. And they're the actual cause of their own problems. It's
an individual problem, right? That's what they say. Like, and they're called Uncle Tom because they adopt a white way of living and talking. And
it's from Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was like a slave that turned on other slaves trying to escape.
So the reason that I got aware of this is because Judge on Sweden's Got Talent, it's just called Talent, but it's the Swedish equivalent of America's Got Talent, wrote...
All owned by Simon Cowell, so that really matters.
Yeah, no, yeah. Just,
Come on, Wayne, just say it. We invented it. Christ, just...
That's going to be Wayne's shirt. It's going to be Wind Your Neck In on the front, and we invented that on the back.
Yeah. So it starts off with this man. His name is Alexander Bard. He was part of a pop group called... can't remember at the moment. Yeah, a pop band. A cappella, what was it? Vocal harmony group. A vocal harmony group in the 80s. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just perfect.
Yeah, just perfect. And his tweet was, if black lives want to matter, then black lives get their fucking shit together, study hard, go to work, make their own money instead of depend on welfare, stop lying, get out of prison, and become heroes instead of self-appointed victims for the world to laugh at. That matters.
All right, racism solved. We're done.
Oh, I'm glad someone said it. Now we can all just do it.
Yeah, we're good. We can.
Wow.
I don't know what the problem was.
You know that this is like a repeated statement that we do battle with every day on the interwebs, right? And sometimes,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but can anybody explain how that is just fucking atrocious and wrong? Because
yeah.
There's at least 3 people who can tell you.
Oh,
yes,
3.
I want to see Wayne first.
Wayne in the front. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'll tell you what the problem is.
All right, thanks, Wayne. All right, Cortez.
Okay.
That was from our British correspondent, Wayne the Maker Lynch. He's a man of few words, but they all mean something.
I never seen a Jamaican over it.
Oh man. Wayne, I'll let you if you like.
Go ahead, Wayne. I'm sorry. That wasn't funny.
No, it's just this thing is with race is there's a perception of who you're supposed to be through stereotypes, and some people live up to that, and some people dismiss it. And there's a perception who you want to be, and the problem is the person who you're told to be tends to be the prevalent, in a sense of, oh well, you have this colour skin, so you must be this way and this way and this way. And Mikey, you can speak to this, because obviously you love your metal music, I love my guitar-based music, and the amount of people that we get say to us, you know,
you can say it's a safe song. You like the music. You like the music. You can say
no, but what I'm saying is, you've got people that will tell you who you're supposed to be, and some people will go with it, and other people are like, oh, that'll just be me. But the problem is, you've got these people like your man that you're talking about now, Jartan.
Yeah, your best fucking friend, Shartan.
Yeah, from your country.
Your homeboy.
No. I just live here, mate. I'm Norwegian.
Look at him with his plausible deniability.
I'm sound like a Jamaican in fucking London, man.
Rastafari.
Wagwan. Poor Brenna.
Next week.
I can't put my hands in front of my face.
I mean, it's because you're blue.
I am.
Now you're yellow again.
Hey, homie.
I am so white. Even the camera's like, no, we're not doing this today.
I don't mean to laugh at your pain, especially when it comes to tech stuff, but this is.
I know. I'm usually better. I'm better than this.
All right. So this guy, right? He posted this tweet, and about 3 hours later, he started posting like if red lives matter, if yellow lives matter, if white lives matter.
Yellow lives do matter, don't they, Brenna?
She's blue again. She's no longer yellow.
Lives matter.
Oh shit!
Oh,
you can't make your mind up.
Oh shit!
No, but
you know what, Wayne? You're one color. That's it.
He's Wayne colored.
He's Wayne colored.
He's calling me a wanker.
That too.
Yep.
Brenna is literally a chameleon. Whenever she gets frightened, she turns yellow.
Listen here, Brenna / Joe Rogan.
Brenna is
really turn the background off. If you turn the background
off, it doesn't
can't
work.
do it.
It doesn't work.
For the audio listeners,
I will show you.
Brenna is right now in image form, changing from yellow to white to blue.
And now do the thing.
Do you remember the Michael Jackson video, black and white, with the really bad morphing? That's what she's doing right now.
Hey, look,
that was a good video. That was a good video.
That video was good, but I'm gonna tell you what was better. He did the black to white in real life. That morphing was phenomenal.
Yeah, but he did it over long periods of time.
I don't care how long it took. Do you know how hard it is to be a black man and turn yourself into a white one and be accepted for it? That man was a genius.
Millions of dollars.
That man was a genius.
Leave my man alone.
Hey, man.
My man
Everybody couldn't be born looking like Prince. Some people had to attain it.
And some people are born sexy like me, so whatever.
Is that what they call sexy in Britain?
Yeah, short.
The only reason why they think you sexy is because you still got all your teeth.
I quit.
And look, contrary to popular belief, my teeth are all straight. Look.
That's what I'm saying. You got nice teeth. That's why he thought you was sexy.
He's probably Jamaican.
Hey, when they see, look at his teeth. Those teeth look good, don't they?
Jamaicans known for having 86 teeth in their mouth.
Yeah.
So
well,
can we please, I've been patient. I really want to talk about this.
I was waiting to speak after you guys.
Yeah.
Jartan, go on.
You just want to speak about it. Well, speak then.
I was waiting for you.
Speak.
Go.
Everyone shut
Age
up.
before beauty.
Shit before shovel.
Cortez, just go.
Okay. What I really find that's terrible about this situation is that our politics here a lot of our politicians seem to believe the same thing. And they continually say this over and over again. You have all the opportunities in the world to be just the same as everybody else. You could get just as far. What they are discounting is the generations of oppression, of Jim Crow, of systemic racism that's gotten us to this point of where they are. How many people in the justice system have we found that have been innocent, but as a result, you removed a father or a mother from that home, which also removes income, which also destabilizes the ability of the child to grow with ease and not have to struggle the entire time they're growing. And I mean, I'm going to say some more about this in a minute, but I want that to sink in.
Jartan?
Yeah, no, the fact that we have people alive today who lived in a segregated society in your country, right, is, for me, just mesmerizing, right? I can't get my head around that. The fact that your parents grew up, right, when they were born in the 50s and 60s, right? the U.S. was a segregated country. The Jim Crow laws were actually in effect still.
Yeah, schools weren't fully integrated.
They weren't allowed to go to the same schools, right? Rosa Parks, when was that? Was that like 60? What was that, 63, 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
60.
yeah, so that means that she belongs to our grandparents' generation, but most of our parents were born at the time, but she belongs to our grandparents, right? So people in their 60s or 70s, right, they actually were born in a segregated society where they weren't allowed to sit on the same in front of the bus. They had to get in the back of the bus. They couldn't go to the same school. They weren't allowed to drink from the same fountain, go to the same toilets. That's the world they fucking got born into. These people are allowed today. This is not something about slavery 200 fucking years ago. This is something that happened in the lifetime of our parents, right?
But more importantly than the water fountains and where they are the bus, it's where they can live. It's where they can work, and it's where they can live. And if
they can get education.
Right.
It's home loans, it's business loans,
redlining.
It's the access to
FHA, home loans, businesses, banks.
So you have the visual racism, right? You have the separate bathrooms kind of thing. But you also have that underlying racism.
2 episodes ago we talked to an economist, and we outlined this premise with the economist. And the economist stated unequivocally, yes, that in the past and still today, there is discrimination and when it comes to income, wages, and everything else that goes into the economy against people of color specifically. Yes. Now, I will say this. When looking for a home, whether it to be to buy or to rent in the United States, in the average middle class suburb, there are requirements to live in a subdivision or to live in the or to rent in the area are 3 times the amount of rent as your income, a minimum base salary.
Well, we don't have to revisit all the
right. Well, I'm just giving just a couple of those little things that go into this.
Just a recap.
There is a criminal background check, as well as employment history and references to have a house. So I'm saying all this to say, if I quote unquote made it out, as a lot of people like to say, you made it out, which I abhor that statement today. But if I made it out, what makes you think that I have references of people that know me closely because I made it out, which means I left everything behind to try to be here?
Yes, but the point I'm trying to make with this is that people over here, right? They don't understand this. They don't understand that this happened within just one generation ago. Mm-hmm. They always go like, well, it's not like that over here. But yes, it is, because you are judged by the color of your skin or where you come from or the way that you speak. You are. Mm-hmm. You most definitely are. And trying to pretend that just because we didn't have laws in the 50s and 60s that prevented black people, we didn't need laws because there were no black people. They didn't want to come here and freeze to death, so they did not come here.
Why smooth?
So we just didn't have, like north of the wall, there were no black people.
It was all wildlings.
Yeah, they were all whiteling, and so we did not, and we never need to legislate against that. And her gardeners are back.
But this is the thing, Jartan.
Jose is there.
You're talking. Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's racist.
Can I say this?
His name might be Mark. You don't know.
I'm gonna say this as well. And this is
if his name was Mark. No, sorry.
This is one thing that gets overlooked.
All right, wait. Let Wayne go ahead and then hop back in.
Thing is, it's all well and good saying, "Oh, we're not like that. We're not like that over here because we didn't have that like they did in America. America was like founded on racism, whereas we kind of like emulsified and kind of came together. Like, I mean, we're talking about earlier people from Jamaica, that came to England. They came for a reason, like by choice, to rebuild the country after the Second World War. So our history with multiculturalism is totally different to that of America's, whereas America was built on the backs of slaves and Chinese building railways and all this kind of thing. So, yeah, so
yeah, and we just made money out of shipping them from Africa to US. That's what we did.
Yeah, exactly that. And this is the thing. This is why the relationship in Europe is so much different to that of the US, because it's kind of like it's told and generational. So you've got generations of people that are still saying to their kids, "You should fear the white man because of this," and you've got generations of kids that are saying, "You should fear the black man because of this," and it still goes on.
I'll be the first one to say it. My grandparents told me not to trust white people.
There you go. There you
they
go.
Told me not to.
I've never had that. Never had that. Well, I couldn't have that because my mum and dad got married in 1978 in Basildon Town Centre, which was like quite a racist area. You know, a mixed race couple getting married in the middle of a new town, which was classed as a new town. And that was kind of,
What's a new town? What's that mean?
A new town is basically a town that was built post-war for overflow from London that got bombed and to build up new industry. So there was loads of new industries. If you can, watch Newtown Utopia on Amazon Prime, and that will explain what Basildon is.
Yeah.
And there's no brown people in it for some reason or other. But
but the point is that like me and Wayne had this discussion on off-air call about a month and a half ago, where
go keep up with the game. We don't like each other. Shh. Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. What the fuck? No, but the point I'm trying to make is
you guys kiss and hug when we're not around. Don't pretend.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Denmark.
I didn't go to Denmark.
You had to see the birth of his new son.
I got to be Little Spoon. So no, but the point I'm trying to say is that like just because we don't have this kind of systematic racism that you've had, and you still have, and you still have to live with, doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist, and that we can stop fighting. Like we do have to keep on fighting, even over here, even though the system is built in a certain way. People are not used to the world getting smaller, especially in Scandinavia. I know that the UK has a bigger bigger population and a more ethnic population, more diverse population that we have, but we are getting there. Like we are catching up because the world is getting smaller, and people are getting up here because, well, we are actually traveling the world and advertising how fucking great Scandinavia is, right? And when people like this fucking wanker who had a hit back in the 80s, Army of Lovers was the name of the band, Army of Lovers, right? And he goes out and he says,
great name.
And he says, like, no, I can't be racist because I'm gay and I have a black friend. Like, having a black friend is like, and Wayne, we've had this discussion on the podcast, right? You have friends that say, like, I fucking hate that fucking black guy. But you're right because I know you.
Yep.
You can still have black friends and still be a fucking racist cunt.
Oh, I couldn't tell you how many times I've been held up as the extradite
alibi. The alibi.
You're the token. The token.
Yeah. No, I'm not racist because I got this black fella over here, right?
Yeah, you're token.
And that's like, and when you, and this, I'm going to read another tweet now, and this is one of the ones that infuriate me most. He says, Black Lives Matter is the new totalitarian state ideology. Everybody is responsible for what BLM fantasized their ancestors did, but nobody's responsible for their own actions unless you're a white cop or dare to oppose. Hashtag BLM, both crimes are punishable by death through deplatforming.
The biggest problem with all of this, or of all of his statements, are there's enough idiots that believe it. Because it's patently false. Like, it's all easily proven wrong. But
Candy Owen.
Yeah, and
people won't do the research to find out if what he says is true or not, because it feels good to say, yeah, I shouldn't feel guilty about anything. Everything's fine. I'm doing great. Let me just, I'll retweet it. Let me get on his Patreon. And it's like, dude, did you even look into what he fucking said?
It gets retweeted 257,000 times.
But the thing is, I have friends that will retweet the Candy Bird statement and go, oh, look at this, and I'll just go in and like debunk it instantly, and they're like, oh shit, I didn't say that. It's because it's the first time I've ever seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
Same as them two twins that always go on
God.
Those brothers, yeah,
and
brothers,
same
Candace Owens, Dr. Carr.
I'm not saying
Stop
their names.
naming them.
I'm not saying their name.
Yeah, fuck
And
them.
The other guys who got massively called out by the
What are they gonna do? Shake their finger at me?
No,
we don't want to give them attention.
No, it's not.
Okay, I want to give them some attention.
What's his name? Vader.
Yeah.
Yes. He reminds me of every like.
It's everyone's just self-flagellating. Everyone's self-flagellating. He's like, oh, I'm so fucking wrong. I'm so wrong, but I'm gonna say I'm right.
The old crusty dude at the liquor store who's always asking for a lighter is homeboy you're talking about with the beta thing. Like, that's him.
No. I'll tell you who reminds me of.
Talking so slow and confused.
He reminds me.
So long. You've been confused for like 3 years.
I
don't you know anything?
I watch any footage of him and I think of you. You're just like a black weekend at Bernie's.
I don't know how he functions. Like, how does imagine that guy pays a utility bill. I couldn't imagine the process. It must take weeks.
The thing is, these people don't realize that they're being used as tokens in a sense.
No, they do. No, they do. I'm gonna say this. No. Let me tell you this. Every single last one of them knows exactly what they are doing because I did it. Mike's did it in the past too. We all know what we're doing. We want to be accepted, and they want to be accepted by these people. They know what they're doing. They think these are people I want to be like. These are people that are going to accept me. So let me just shuffle on out here and say this garbage so they can clap and cheer and then always talk about me, because exactly what they wanted to happen is happened. They go on every single show. They're paid for every single interview. All their YouTube channels are flooded red. Every single last one of them. They did it. It's called selling your soul.
Do you know the most dangerous one is? That twat police officer with a ridiculous spray-on fucking goatee beard.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say his name.
I wasn't gonna say his name either because he's annoying.
Bonsai Buckaroo up there, up in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, he deserved what happened to him. Right. He deserved it. They lawless out here.
Every single interview,
they lawless.
Fucking angry.
They need to write a correction.
At people. How dare these people?
Don't do it, Mikey. Don't do it.
Each one, he's got to get the Sharpie out and make sure his goatee's on straight.
It's just for men. Just Robert,
So-
And let me say, every single time they talk about her, y'all know who her is.
Mhm.
They always gotta say she's so articulate and she's so smart.
That's
How could you
condescending.
not be proud of her?
Yeah, but just think of how condescending that is. Like, whenever someone tells me I'm well spoken or I'm articulate, it's like, compared to what?
Well, you're not
Exactly that.
supposed to be.
You should listen to her. She's a very articulate lady, and she's cute too.
But what you have to remember is like the guy who's writing these tweets, right? He was a mainstream character, a judge on one of the biggest talent shows on TV, right?
Best friend. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he was a mainstream character. He was not like some fringy dude, right? He was on TV every Friday or Saturday at 8
Everybody
o'clock.
knows who he is.
Everybody knows who it is. He's like this friendly gay guy who had a hit back in the 80s, and yeah.
How
So-
far does he live away from your house right now? Is he like number 7 or number 9?
Wrong town, mate. He's at 08, so he's in Stockholm.
Oh, Stockholm. Oh,
I
yeah.
was about to say, do we have to send HR over there? Mhm.
Yeah. No, and the point is like when a man who is mainstream, like, and he's loved, and kids watch these shows, and you get into also starting to afflicting a younger generation who follows you on Twitter, because they don't follow you just because of your political views. They follow you because you're a judge on that talent show, right? So you have a responsibility to actually understand what the fuck you're talking about when you tweet shit like this,
Perhaps.
right? No, not perhaps. You do have. Or I have a rocket.
No need to talk about the rocket. No need for the rocket.
I'm not threatening anybody. He's welcome to come here. I'm just...
So Uncle Tom trailer.
Mikey, mute him.
No.
Cut the mic.
The point that we missed earlier that I was going to say was that when Jartan mentioned the segregation issue, I don't think that I'm going to say this that to the best way that I possibly can right now.
Careful.
Segregation may have legally ended, but segregation did not end. Google white flight and find out what it is. And for a short explanation, it's when an affluent person moves into a neighborhood. He just so happens to be a little bit different than everybody else. Everybody else finds a reason to sell their house. And so they all move, and the houses get a little bit cheaper, and more people start moving in. And now you have an entire neighborhood that used to be one thing that is now another thing.
Yeah,
because
that article you showed looks like my town.
Yeah, but if you want to listen more about how it is growing up in a segregated community, that we actually do have a bonus episode.
Yes, we do.
Of Wayne having a discussion with a man who grew up in a segregated community during the 70s and 80s. There's also a very good read. You should really read Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime, but you should also go into patreon.com/The Bin Podcast, sign up for Bin, and listen to our bonus episode with Drew from South Africa, who talks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The difference in our conversation is we had a conversation about segregation on the inverse as to what we expect now. In the sense of we're talking about a white man living in a segregated area rather than a black man living in a white area.
Yeah.
So let me explain as best as I can this way. So me and Mikey met each other in high school, and we've been bosom buddies ever since, minus the bosom.
Why did you say bosom buddies? Why would you go there?
Oh, it's all gone broke back.
You know where you are. They're not going to let that slide.
No. So who's the little spoon?
Wow.
Who's the little spoon?
We're not judging.
Who's the little spoon?
We're not
That's all
judging.
we need
I
to know.
didn't say posterior buddies. I said bosom buddies.
Okay, so you went for the teat.
You did this. You did this.
So we have 5
Did you
people.
Vaseline
Right. We have 5 people in this show today, right? 5, including me. The average number of
Get your abacus, Wayne.
The average number of black people
taking my shoes and socks off
that we had. I'll put it this way: we have a greater percentage of black people in this chat than me and him had in class. By that I mean there's usually 3 in all of our classes.
Or 2.5.
Yeah, usually about 2.5. You know, there's a mixed kid.
To be fair, we are literally equal opportunities. Yeah. We look like a color chart right now because I'm like,
right, but
I'm like
what I'm trying to say is there are 5 of us here, but in my class of 33, there was usually only 2.5, 3 black kids in high school per class. In high school, and we lived in a pretty mixed community. I wanted to say, for the most part, and there was still only about 3 per class.
It appeared to be mixed because where we lived, it was mixed, but there were a lot of areas that we couldn't afford to live in that were less mixed.
This is true.
Yes, but can you guess how many colored kids there was at my school? Like, not in my class, in my school.
2?
Yes.
Are you counting Brenna?
And they were brothers and sisters. Yeah, no, she's
Wait, you live in Sweden. Did you go to school in Sweden?
Nope, Norway.
Okay, you went to school in Norway. Did Norway bring slaves for 300 years?
Yes, they did.
From Africa?
Yeah, we shipped them. Like, we have wealthy people in Norway today.
Where did they go?
They were like Amazon.
Where did they go? Because I hardly ever see a black person around Norway.
No, because we shipped them to USA.
Oh, so you shipped them here?
Yeah, we were just the profiteers, right? We were the.
So what I'm saying is there is a greater percentage of African American black people in the United States.
Yeah.
Norway. No,
like so
you might have 2 in your school, but there's a greater population percent, especially Illinois.
He's not disagreeing with you.
I know.
No, I'm not disagreeing.
He's telling me how many they have compared to all of that because he's got this. But what I'm saying by that is this.
Sorry.
Those communities that we all moved to go to better schooling, they started to flip-flop a little bit because every time someone would move and there'd be, okay, one of y'all lives here. I've literally heard this before. One of y'all lives here. A house will go up for sale. I remember we moved in one time and our next door neighbor immediately put his house up for rent after we moved in. And a Mexican neighbor moved in into their house. And he used to come and talk to my mom about how much of a difficult person his landlord was. And my mom told him straight up. They lived there for a month before they moved out after we moved in. And then another black family moved in across the cul-de-sac and another one. And before you knew it, the entire cul-de-sac was nothing but people of color. You mean to tell me that in this nice neighborhood that we lived in, that all the white people just choose to leave because they just don't love their houses anymore?
No, dude, like, this is like preaching for the choir, right? Because we all know that's how it works. That's how that worked. But that's kind of besides the point that I'm trying to get at. The point I'm trying to get at is that racism, just because it isn't as flagrant and as obvious as it's been, because you've had only 60 years without Jim Crow laws. No, not even that. 50,
not even
something.
70,
50. Yeah,
late 70s.
Yeah, 50 something years without Jim Crow laws.
Doesn't 48, something like that. 42.
And haven't had those kind of segregation kind of laws. Doesn't mean that racism doesn't exist. Just we can't hide behind that. We haven't had that kind of systemic and law-abiding racism. The racism is still real and still fucking exists.
To place it lightly, the president that we have today was in his 30s when Jim Crow was repealed and the schools were integrated.
Yeah, it's still
only 40 some 42 43
am I not making myself clear? Yes.
No, you are. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So
100% agreement.
And we over here, right, in Europe, especially in the Scandinavian countries where we have such a small multi-ethnic population, need to be more
aware.
We need to aware of the kind of flagrant racism that actually exists in our society, because it's still there. It's just that, as I said so many times before, we just didn't have anybody to be racist to. There was nobody to hate because of the color of the skin, because we didn't have any black people.
I'm going to help you sum this up a little bit, Jartan. So me and you love to joke about, countries of origin, whether you be Irish or or Swedish or from Norway or just a freaking Viking from nowhere, nomad. We joke about this type of stuff all the time because
Valhalla.
We understand it. So this recent conversation that was brought up this week was and I'm trying to remember which senator said it, so I'll message you guys when I find it. But he said, how come there's black pride, but white pride is racist? And my response was, nowhere outside of this country do you hear the term white pride, because they're British, they're Scottish, they're Irish, they're Italian, they're Spanish, they're Norwegian, they're Swedish, they're South African, they're Australian. I can go on and on. They're Dutch, They are proud of being Dutch. They are proud of being Irish. But nowhere other than, the types of places you don't want to be in anyway, do they say we should be able to have white pride, because they know what white pride means. And please explain.
I disagree too. I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why I disagree.
Because I'm all ears.
You have a lot of English people saying, "Oh, you can't be English and proud. You can be Scottish and proud. You can be Welsh and proud, Irish and proud. You have St Patrick's Day. You have St David's Day. All this. You can't. When it's St George's Day, it's racist." And they don't get all. It's like it just seems to be there's a not a stereotype. There seems to be a mindset of person that wants to be proud of something, but then when you ask them what you're proud of, they have nothing. There's no substance there. What are you proud of? No, nothing. Because every single person that says they're proud of who they are has been oppressed at some time. When the person has not been oppressed and they want to say they're proud, when you ask them what they're proud of, it's normally oppression. There you go.
I don't think that you have
fight me, Jartan. Fight me.
No, yeah.
They didn't even give you a chance to say anything.
Girls, you're both pretty.
A bit, I will, yeah. Because I don't feel that I should feel guilty because I'm white. I don't feel that it's wrong of me to be proud to be who I am, or because I look the way I am. I don't have a problem with that, but you also have to be aware about the fact that me, as a white, heterosexual, cisgender man, has never been oppressed.
Heterosexual.
He just winked for all those listening to the audio version of the
show. Wayne, we weren't supposed to tell people we're coming out until the next episode.
I thought we were saving that for 50. That was the big.
I mean,
like Jartan, exclusive.
You're giving the beans away here, mate. Like
those
what the fuck are you doing?
When we got the first chicken show donation, then we were gonna drop the bombshell.
Yeah, you and me, baby.
Come on. White eggs behind me. Just
what you did. No, but the point I'm trying to make is that there's nothing wrong about being white and proud, or black and proud, or or Asian and proud or whatever.
Can I correct one thing? What I think Cortez was hinting at was white is not a thing unless it's here. And the only the only reason that white is a thing is because for the Irish and the Italians who were denigrated for a long ass time, when the slaves were freed, they were made white people.
Yeah.
And that was just one tier above black. So so when they say white pride, that is something very specific because there's Italian Day parades. Mexico has them. Everybody has their nation of origin thing. But the white...
Who's in the gay pride parade?
Yeah, but the white thing and the white pride thing has a very specific meaning here.
Yes, it has over here as well. But this is what I'm trying to get. It's the same thing where all these fucking Nazis are trying to subscribe to some kind of Viking culture, right? Where everybody's like doing like the Valhalla fucking Viking thing, and it just pisses me off because it's just like you just got that wrong because they were fucking barbaric and savages, but they didn't fucking care what you looked like. They killed white people, black people.
What?
They killed everyone.
I'm not watching that show on Amazon anymore now that I know that.
Well, what with Edge?
Yeah.
Adam Copeland's in the show.
The Vikings, what they did is like, if you're not with us, you're against us, and we're going to strike you down. We're going to take what you have. If you don't give it to us, we're going to take it, and then we're going to kill you and rape your women, and you're fucked.
And Zoltan, let me just, because you've kind of sparked my memory on something. Something I posted a status the other day on Facebook, basically saying, for all these people that are complaining about Black Lives Matter, ask yourself this question: would you be black today? All right, and there were people coming back, oh, ridiculous, silly question, all that.
No, it's not. No, I can answer that very easily.
No. Let me finish my point. And my mate Matt said, yeah, but like, what did you achieve? Like, you're saying you're proud to be white. What did you achieve to be white? What did you get from being white? Why are you saying, I should be proud to be white? Because everything was there. You had everything.
Yeah.
When, if you are a non-white male, there's always something against you. So what do you mean when you say you're proud to be white? What are you proud of?
Well, I'm proud of about being white.
Yeah.
No, I'm not proud of me skin color. I don't care about
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So why are people making such a big fuss about something that was like...
No, yeah, but that's kind of besides the point, though, because
it's very much the point. It's very much the point.
The thing that I'm trying to get at is that it's not about what you look like, it's about who you are and being proud of yourself.
To us, it's different.
Yes. For us, it's different because I'm proud of being a Norwegian. I'm proud of Norwegian culture. I love my country, serve my country. I love what it stands for, what it's been about.
That's why you moved to Sweden.
I thought she was a good woman, okay? What the fuck can I say? I was wrong.
We've got good livestock down here.
Tiger Woods went to Sweden for the same reason.
I fucked up. Okay?
No, but do you take my point? Do you take my point?
I take your point. Can you please never bring up my ex-wife again? Please. Ever.
Anyway.
Yes.
So they're making a movie called Uncle Tom, which we never talked about. It's gonna be dreadful. Feel free to.
It is out. You have to go to their website, which I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's out already. You have to go to their website to watch it. It is a fucking shit show.
All of the people who we refuse to name are in it, and they all want to give their glaring takes on how it feels to shit on black people as a black person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we just fucking agree on the fact that
no.
Okay.
Wayne is already going to disagree.
I need a half a glass of wine more.
Wayne, you don't have to listen to Wayne. He's not even in the European Union, so don't worry about it.
Listen, you little fucking pecker-neck cunt. Right?
Wind your neck in.
I am feeling double hard right now because I'm on a podcast where I am not outnumbered and I have a right to an opinion. In my own house, I haven't. So I'm going all in.
He can't get shit up. He can't get shit across outside of this Zoom call, so he's trying to go all in.
So
you do this, you do that, and shut the fuck up.
So it's funny, right? I don't think you guys had this problem, Wayne, but maybe you did, maybe you didn't. And growing up in history class, every time we get to like the civil rights era or slavery or anything had to do with black people, every kid would literally teacher start talking. So she asks a question, the kids would do this. And turn and look at me every single time. And I'm like, why are y'all always, and I asked this one time, so why are y'all always calling on me for every question in the civil rights era? Like, I'm not Martin Luther King Jr. I didn't even know him. I'm like, obviously I didn't know him because I'm a kid and it's 1990s. And he's been dead since the 60s. You know how that happened. You're going to learn about that in 3 pages. I read ahead.
I got a better one for you. When we watched Lion King in like 2nd or 3rd grade or something like that. And you know that, wow, Sylvania.
Oh, man.
This little motherfucker looked at me.
Sylvania.
This motherfucker looked at me and said, what's he saying? Bitch, I don't know.
God.
How the fuck do I know?
No.
You just reminded me of an incident that happened when I was,
I don't speak Swahili.
7 years old. I was 7 years old, right? And we were in, like, so what would that be? That would be, I don't know what grade it would be.
1968.
Fuck you.
Old and short.
Or how about this
Old
one?
And short.
African booty scratcher.
It was 1972.
It was 1903.
1988. It was 1988.
Our Lord the Queen.
Was John Lennon still alive?
Right, hang on.
It was 2:15 in the afternoon.
It was tea time.
Ali G's back.
Was Keith Richards still human?
Was it AC or BC?
Right. It was 1988, right? And I was.
Oh yeah, in the vocal harmony era. All right.
We had instruments. We had instruments in our class. We had like xylophones and fucking bongo drums and.
Oh yes, you weren't strictly a cappella then.
I'll give up.
Go ahead. Everyone shut up. Wayne is sharing.
Oh, Wade.
Wayne doesn't get a lot of chances to talk because the women have dominated him so fully. So let him.
Oh yeah.
Let him tell his story.
He's not upset about that.
Let me finish my fucking diatribe. My emotional fucking scarring I've had since I was fucking 7 years old. You bastards. Yeah, no, because it's just saying that what Cortez struck me. And they had some like bongo drums, and I was having a go of them. And my teacher said, "Oh, I can see you've done that before." I went, "It's the first time I've ever fucking touched a bongo drum." I'm just slapping them like this. And she's like, "Oh, I've seen you've done that before." Fucking what? You didn't say that when I was on the Glockenspiel, did you?
And the next week he got rejected from Take That.
Hey, I walked into Meijer the other day, right? Which is a grocery store for those of you who don't know. I walked into Meijer the other day. I was wearing my shirt that I bought that I wore in the show a few weeks ago, and I swear somebody from down the aisle said "Wakanda in the house," and I'm talking about. I turned around so damn fast, man. They took off running in Meijer. I'm like, this motherfucker. I can't believe this just happened to me.
If you're wearing a Wakanda shirt.
Wakanda in the house.
Yeah. I was like, this did not just happen, bro. Like, it was to me like, okay.
Yeah, of course.
I find this shit funny these days. I don't even get offended no more.
Whenever people try to like, so like, where are you from? Oh, Wakanda. I just claim it as fact.
I'm like, I was born in Buzzing Hospital. Where's your parents from? My mum was born in Buzzing Hospital. Oh, where are your grandparents from? One's from Australia, one's from Liverpool, and one's from a British colony. Deal with it.
All right.
You have to be way more specific when it comes to British colonies.
Yeah.
Way more specific. You guys went everywhere.
From the Commonwealth.
Hey, can I ask things
last? Do y'all remember the mid-Atlantic accent from like the 1930s and 40s in movies?
Yeah.
Why was that ever a thing? No one can live in mid-Atlantic. It's not a real accent.
The only thing in the middle Atlantic is Iceland, and nobody fucking understands Icelandic.
Exactly.
You don't know about mid-Atlantic Atlantis. That's because you don't know.
Because it doesn't exist.
Oh.
First of all,
that's what I want you to think.
Dropped.
We just had a scientist. It doesn't exist. He's been down there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, of course.
The Earth is flat and everything's fine. We need to wrap this up now because
I gotta go work on the car.
It's a clusterfuck as usual.
Yeah, but first of all, before we wrap, can you show everybody what hat you're wearing, Wayne?
This lovely article. It's BIN, Be Informed Now.
What?
Via the Bin podcast. And little detail.
We wouldn't let him tell his story, but we were quiet for the hat.
Big head, small body. All right, we got it.
like one of those bobblehead dolls you get at the baseball games.
I'm not with
Welcome. Thank you for visiting the Pin Podcast.
So, what we're going to do
this is the last episode.
Your turn.
Brenna, you say that every episode, and here we are.
Your turn. Shut the fuck up. Listen.
Wow, this is great.
I made 2 female humans. Fuck you.
Fact. So did I.
Yeah.
Brenna, you've been saying this since the first episode.
I know
that you were on. That this is the last episode. now we're writing it into the script.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's chicken jokes and short jokes. Like it's just.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you go into the Bin Podcast, the patreon.com/the Bin Podcast and sign up for your Patreon. We are going to try to make some merch, so we are going to try to make some merch site as well. And as you can see, we're well on our way. Wayne has done a great fucking job. We are all ordering one of those caps, so we are going to be sitting there.
You're not. You're getting it for free. I'm sending them over next week.
Yeah, don't tell them
we
that.
We need people to sign up to the Patreon, dude. What are you doing?
That close.
We were that close. So close.
Look, my friends.
Why would I be selling you hats?
This is why we
the show.
All right, fuck it.
Because this happens.
Yeah, this has been the Ben Podcasts. We love you. We respect you. You are all fucking wonderful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We hope to see you again soon. From Mikey, from Brenna, from Wayne, from Cortez, my name is Shartan. This has been the Ben Podcast. Thank you and good night. And by the way, fuck Alexander Bard.
Oh, not this again.
Not this again. I swear.
We're done. We're done with this bullshit.